World's strongest man, Mike Tyson.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hercules.
President Reagan.
Not Ronald Reagan.
My daddy. Superman.
My husband. He puts up with me.
How many pounds can the world's strongest man lift?
Well, I just seen somebody lift a car on TV the other day, so 2,000 pounds.
About 10,000.
265.
About 800 pounds.
10.
400.
Well, this man weighs 354 pounds. Many consider him to be the world's strongest man. He's Antonio Krastev from Bulgaria, and he is the defending super heavyweight world weightlifting champion. Today, he'll be competing at home in Sofia, Bulgaria. He'll be attempting to lift well over 500 pounds at the World Weightlifting Championships. A beautiful city surrounded by high mountains and with a population of over 1,100,000 people. It is one of the most ancient inhabited cities in the world, going back 7,000 years. It has remarkable archaeological and cultural monuments. This is Lenin Square, located in the center of the city. We're in Sofia for the annual get-together between the greatest weightlifters in the world. And as usual, the competition is expected to end up between the Soviet Union and Bulgaria. They are the two dominant forces in weightlifting. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Beatty, and we're going to be concentrating today on the super heavyweights, the big boys of weightlifting. And working with me today, as he has so many times in the past, former super heavyweight great from the United States, Bruce Wilhelm. And Bruce, in the earlier competitions, in the weight classes already completed, the Bulgarians have been absolutely fantastic.
They have. They've set 6 out of 11 world records set here. 4 were set by a Russian in addition, and 1 by Vlad from Romania. The competition has been superb.
Okay, and the super heavyweights today promises to be exciting. This place is absolutely jammed because Krastev, the great super heavyweight from Bulgaria, will be lifting, and he weighed in at 354 pounds. Bruce, how about Krastev? He's really something, isn't he?
He's really quite a big boy. Last year's world champion has gained about 25 pounds in body weight, which he was rumored to have gained. He was also rumored to have been setting world records in training, and the body weight certainly indicates we may be close to records. In addition, Leonard Taranenko, the Soviet Union, the 1980 Olympic champion in 242-pound classes here, and he's no slouch either. He just set a world record in the total, so we're looking for some fantastic competition.
Okay, Bruce, there are 2 types of lifts, the snatch lift and the clean and jerk. 3 attempts in each lift with the best one counting. The overall winner will be the lifter with the best snatch lift combined with his best clean and jerk lift. And this is Manfred Nerlinger from West Germany. We're in the middle of the snatch portion of the competition. Let's take a look, though, at the second lift by Nerlinger. 407 3/4 pounds. He almost had it up, but missed on that attempt. This is his final attempt in the snatch part of the competition. If he's going to be a factor in this competition, he has to make this lift.
He'll definitely need to make it to stay in the contention here because the next 2 lifters have tremendous snatches. So he's got to really put this one away easily.
Okay, he was 3rd in the World Championships last year in Sweden.
Nice lift.
And Nerlinger has it overhead. 407 3/4 pounds, and that moves him, for the moment, into first place.
Notice the pull. He really hits it high on the thighs. He almost misses the thigh brush, but he puts it in the slot easily, recovers. It's an excellent lift.
So Nerlinger very excited about that, and the West German recovered from missing that second one. Now, Robert Skolimowski from Poland, chalking up and getting ready to come out and lift, or to attempt to lift, let's say, 413 1/4 pounds.
You know, one time he was touted by the Polish as being the next super heavyweight world champion, but he just never seemed to make the cut.
Now 30 years of age and backstage, getting ready to lift. The next lifter will be Krastev after Skolimowski. Skolimowski weighed in at 339 pounds. He's ranked number 9 in the world in weightlifting in the super heavyweight class.
Long time over the bar. Good pulls. Got it well over his head.
Great quickness. 339 pounds. And Bruce, a lot of technique there.
It is. He's a good technician. He pulls the weight well. He brushes his thighs high. Moves under the weight. Has good flexibility for such a big man.
Okay, the auditorium is sold out. And the reason, the next lifter, Antonio Krastev, coming up. He'll be attempting 440 3/4 pounds in his very first lift. This, of course, would move him into first place. 3 attempts, remember, the best attempt to count in the snatch.
You know, one of the things we want to watch for on Krastev is how fast he moves, and also this additional gain in body weight. We'll see if he can pull the bar back past his stomach, because in the past he kind of drags it up.
Okay, he weighed in at 354.5 pounds. He's ranked #1 in the world, the defending super heavyweight world champion. Brucey's put on a lot of weight.
He sure has. It's going to be interesting to see if it helps him. As I said before, the weight can either help or hinder. It's used like for additional leverage, actually. And he takes a long time in the snatch, and he has to swing it around the belly.
Tremendous concentration.
He stays in this low position for a long time. Nice pull.
And easily overhead for Krastev in his first lift, 440.75 pounds. And Bruce, you talk about body weight making you stronger, but it looks like fat to me. How can fat make you stronger?
Well, what appears to you to be fat in his 25-pound gain on this man in 1 year, he might have picked up 5 pounds of fat, which is more obvious to the eye than the 20 pounds of underlying muscle. Believe me, fat doesn't lift heavy weights like this.
Okay, Bruce, Krastev is off to a great start with his first lift, but the Soviet lifter, Taranenko, is yet to come.
Here's Bulgaria.
I have an idea, but not definitely know where it's at.
Near Spain, maybe?
Bulgaria, Hungary. It's in Europe.
Bulgaria? Is that an east-west end, something like that? West Wall?
Is it in Asia?
I got a faint idea on the Mediterranean there.
Puerto Rico.
India.
I have no idea because I'm very new to this country.
Bulgaria? Bulgaria. No, I can't say yes. How about it, partner? Next to Siberia? I don't know.
Well, Bulgaria is located on the Black Sea. To the north, it borders on Romania with Yugoslavia to the west. Greece is to the south and Turkey to the southeast. And coming up now, 30-year-old Leonid Taranenko from the Soviet Union, weighed in at 304.5 pounds. And Bruce, this is his third attempt in the snatch, and he is in trouble. Let's take a look at that first lift.
440.75 pounds on a bar. He moved under a little bit slow. He cut his pull. His flexibility looks bad in the bottom position. He drops the weight. Let's take a look and see how he does in the second attempt. Nicely over the bar, shoulders there, swings it, but he misses the brush, swings the weight out front. The weight drops in front. He didn't settle in the bottom position.
Okay, Bruce, he has dug quite a hole for himself. This is his third and final attempt coming up now. Again, 440.75 pounds. If he misses this, he's out of the competition. And Krastev has already lifted 440.75 pounds, and he has 2 more lifts. Oh, he has it overhead.
A little bit of struggle coming out of the bottom. He's not really sharp here. You can see that today.
And Taranenko meets the pressure and lifts 440.75 pounds.
Shoulders over the bar. He pulls the weight well off the ground, moves forward, bangs it off his hips, swings it out front. However, he catches it behind his ears in the proper slot, but he has a little bit of difficulty standing up. The weight is a little bit out front. Not a particularly technically good lift.
Okay, Taranenko now with 440.75 pounds. Krustev has already lifted the same weight, but he has 2 more lifts to go. And Bruce, it seems unbelievable because Krustev, we're looking at him here, is having weight put on the bar, 468.25 pounds for a new world record. The old record, 465 pounds, set by Gunyashev of the Soviet Union. And we'll see that record attempt when we come back. At 354.5 pounds is now going to attempt a world record, 468.25 pounds. Who's the old record? 465 pounds.
You know, sometimes I think we're a little bit cavalier, Bob, in the way we talk about 468 pounds. That's a tremendous amount of weight. It's like a couple of washing machines. And this man's going to pull it from the floor over his head in one motion.
Of Bulgaria has set a new world record in the snatch, 468.25 pounds. Unbelievable lift by him, and only in his second attempt.
Makes you wonder what he's going to take on his third. Good pull off the floor, shoulders over the board to adjust. Catches it in the bottom, just very flexible in his shoulders as he moves well under it. A beautifully done lift.
And Bruce, Krastev of Bulgaria looks like he's the new super heavyweight star. Reminds me a little bit of Vasily Alexiev of the Soviet Union.
Well, there's no question about it. He's an immense man, 354 pounds, very much similar to Alexiev's size.
And right now, they're putting more weight on the bar. Krastev still has one more left. 473 3/4 pounds, but right now we're looking at Naum Shalamanov from Bulgaria. Many feel that he may be the greatest weightlifter of all times, and earlier this week, he set 3 world records. Here, we're going to see him lift 325 pounds in the snatch for a world record.
Yeah, in this competition, his concentration was excellent, and he moved very well. His technique was on. He did a tremendous job. We'll see here in the snatch as he pulls on his 325 pounds as the bar barely clears his head, the top of his head. Very close lift.
Okay, in the 132-pound class, he's only 4 foot 11 inches tall.
Look how the bar barely is over the top of his head. This is fantastic lifting by a little man.
And Brucey is only 19 years old. Coming into this competition, he had 23 world records.
He's definitely an incredible athlete. I'm just amazed at the amount of weight this little powerhouse can lift.
Okay, but then in the clean and jerk, another world record, 414 pounds. I mean, this is fantastic.
Yeah, this 414 1/4 the actual lifts. You can get the size of the man versus the size of the barbell. The disc, the red disc, are 18 inches in diameter, Bob. And look at the size of it in comparison to how small he is. When he jerks his weight, it barely once again is over his head. But there's no problem with the weight.
And now with a world record in the snatch and the clean and jerk, he has another world record for the total and 26 world records. And because of the tremendous success of the Bulgarians here this week, there's been talk that they have found a way to use steroids without being detected. We asked Wolfgang Peter, president of the Weightlifting Medical Committee, to comment.
I personally believe in the Bulgarian weightlifters. And I have to believe because they are the most tested athletes around the world. In each international tournament, I have tested them over the last 2 years at least 20 times, personally. And their tested went not to Eastern Bloc laboratories, they went into Western laboratories, and they have been negative.
Even though Wolfgang says that the lifters have come up negative, I think that the Bulgarians have found some way to get around the testing because I don't believe they can lift these weights without using steroids.
Ooh, those are strong words, Bruce. Okay, Krastev of Bulgaria coming up now. Another world record for him. He's already lifted 468 1/4 pounds, and now, to better that world record, 473 3/4 pounds. And this, his third and final attempt in the snatch lift.
Well, you notice he had to kind of bring the crowd down a little bit because this is a partisan crowd.
Okay, over the bar now.
Strong pull, the weight's over his head. It's a beautiful lift.
And another world record from Krastev of Bulgaria. And the crowd here is really cheering him on, Bruce.
Oh, it's incredible the way the Bulgarians have drawn strength from the crowd. It's really done a job for him here.
And what's even more amazing is he's only 25 years old. He has many more years of weightlifting in him.
Shoulders over the bar, good position. Swings the bar into that big belly, throws it up, moves it around, but notice how the shoulder flexibility enables him to save the weight, stands up easily. This is a tremendous weight with 473 3/4 pounds.
Overhead with absolutely no difficulty. And Krastev, who we've been watching lift since he was 18 years old, just gets better and better and better. And is he happy with those 2 new world records? Okay, Bruce, that's it for the snatch lift. The results, Krastev, of course, the winner. Taranenko of the Soviet Union second, and Skolimowski of Poland third. We'll be back with the second phase of the competition, the clean and jerk, a little later today on Wide World of Sports. Sofia, this capital city of Bulgaria, is proud to be hosting the World Weightlifting Championships, particularly since this sport is so popular here. That popularity has been fueled by their success against the Soviet Union, which until recently has been the dominating force in the sport. The snatch lift of the super heavyweights has already been completed, and Krastev of Bulgaria has already broken 2 world records. Bruce, what do you think? Can we see even more good lifting from Krastev? Maybe another world record?
I think we can definitely see better lifting. I'm not sure about another world record because we're talking about a big lift, 584 pounds. His best lift is 551 1/2 pounds, but we might be able to see a world record total. There's a possibility if he really gets off a good clean and jerk somewhere in the range of, say, 574 pounds.
Okay, Bruce, Bulgaria, though, has emerged as the leading weightlifting nation in the world the past few years, overtaking the Soviet Union, which is amazing, with one considers it as such a small country by comparison. Earlier this week, we visited Levitsky Sports Center, and perhaps there lies the secret to the Bulgarian success. Talented youngsters are identified at an early age and are sent to one of 10 schools like this one. Here they receive the very best in coaching, and they range in age from 12 to 18. Those who continue to progress remain or move on to the next level in the national program. It is this system of tracking the young lifters and controlling their training which is responsible for their tremendous success. A success, by the way, which has resulted in their setting 8 world records thus far in the competition.
Including 2 by this man right here, Bob.
Okay, this is Antonio Krastev of Bulgaria. He set those 2 records, Bruce, in the snatch, which was completed earlier. Now we're in the clean and jerk. It's a 2-part lift. He's going to be attempting 529 pounds, and this is only his first attempt, and he'll have 3 attempts.
And actually, it is quite an incredible first attempt because he's not noted as a great clean and jerker such as Taraninko is. His best in the clean and jerk is 551.5 pounds, so it is a high opener for him.
Okay, there is Taraninko from the Soviet Union, his main opponent here, warming up in the back room. And Taraninko has yet to take his first lift. He finished second in the snatch lift.
And of course, the main difference between the snatch and the clean and jerk is that the weight is pulled from the floor to the chest in one smooth movement, squatting or splitting, and then the weight is then shoved over the head, jerked over the head actually, with the lifter splitting his legs fore and aft and waiting for the recovery down signal. Here we see the clean, a nice clean, 529 pounds, easily done.
Okay, only now to get it overhead.
Now for the jerk, just a little snap, it's right there.
Krustev of Bulgaria takes over the lead in the clean and jerk with a lift of 529 pounds.
It's an effortless opener.
Bruce, he's better in the snatch, though. So he might have
is.
struggled here, but he didn't look like he was having any trouble.
There was no problem at all with that 529. I was really amazed with the shallow dip he took in the jerk portion of the lift. Here we can see his enormous body. Watch how he uses the stomach as a little bit of a spring down here in the bottom position. Pushes against his thighs. He's able to rebound out of that bottom position. He readjusts the weight. That's what he's doing. You see him throw his arms back. Now he has a nice platform from which to jerk the weight. A slight dip of the knees and he snaps the weight. He uses the recoil of the bar. It's a beautiful done jerk.
Okay, Krastev is certainly putting some pressure on everybody else, including this man, Manfred Nerlinger of West Germany. He's already had 1 lift. This is his second attempt, 529 pounds. He's made 512.5. And Bruce, he just got out of the Army, so he hasn't had a chance to train very much.
Well, it certainly hasn't affected his body weight. He's up to 309 pounds this year, and that's up from over 290 last year, so he's made some progress there.
Okay, he was 3rd in the World Championships last year in Sweden. Very good in the clean and jerk.
Weight's well racked. Look how it rebounds out of the clean.
And Nerlinger has it overhead. All he has to do is settle down and wait for the sign from the 3 judges that it's a good lift, which it is. And Manfred Nerlinger has taken the lead for the moment, only because he weighs less. Body weight is less than Krastev. And back in the warm-up room, Taraninko of the Soviet Union. Last year, he injured the hamstring of his left leg and had it operated on. He'll be coming up next. 540 pounds. He's already made 529 pounds.
His main problem in the past has been racking the weight, where he actually shoulders the weight because his arms are so big.
Bruce, he's quite an unusual guy, too. Very happy, very gentle man. Plays the piano when he's not lifting weights.
He's got some great facial expressions. Well wrapped. Look how it's on his fingertips, though. Oh, he readjusts, gets his hands on the bars.
Boy, that was amazing. Kind of had it bouncing right on his...
Nice jerk, nice
overhead. Krastev, 540 pounds. And Krastev takes the lead. Nerlinger with 529 pounds. And the Bulgarian crowd has a lot to cheer about. And it seems as though Krastev is really feeding off their cheering. He is just lifting better and better. One group who hasn't been cheering very much are the Americans. They have not finished very well here in these championships. John Julius, lifting in the 198.25 pound class, finished 18th, and Richard Schutz, lifting in the heavyweight class, finished 13th. John Bergman lifted earlier today in the B class of the super heavyweights, and he cannot finish any higher than 10th. We asked Richard Schutz what it's like to come over here and compete against the best in the world.
Well, it's a little frustrating, but I think it's a good learning experience for me and some of the other guys. And I think in a couple of years we can become competitive. even though that the Europeans are training harder at this point, I think that in a couple years, you know, with hard training, that we can come competitive, and maybe by 92, you know, being ready for some medals.
Well, the American flag used to signify weightlifting dominance, but that was back in the 50s. Now it merely signifies that they are participating. We asked John Turpak, past president of the U.S. Weightlifting Association, about the future.
Well, the future is we've got to get at the ground, really at the roots of the whole thing. We need a lot of numbers. We have about 1,600 registered weightlifters in the USA now, as compared with 25,000 here in Bulgaria and about 300,000 in the USSR. And unless our numbers come way up, we're not going to be making much headway insofar as winning medals is concerned.
Bruce, it seems as though the U.S. is kind of falling behind the rest of the world rather than catching up. But coming out now, Leonid Taranenko from the Soviet Union, his second attempt at 540 pounds. He missed his first attempt.
Well, the way he missed his first attempt, he should have no trouble making it on his second here.
And Taranenko was the 1980 Olympic heavyweight champion. Then he put on 60 pounds, and now he's lifting as a super heavyweight, as his coach David Rigat looks on. Bruce, he's been struggling.
Well, he's had some problems here today, that's for sure. He's got the weight well racked. He's got a little injury here, it looks like. He sat down with a hand on the knee. He could have pulled a muscle.
You know, Bruce, when you think 540 pounds, I'm surprised there aren't more injuries to those legs.
Well, it's really true. It's amazing there aren't more injuries, but the athletes are well conditioned. This man can squat over 800 pounds. But the trauma and the stress of the heavy training does take its toll. This is very similar to last year where he got injured too.
Okay, let's see if we can pick up where he did have the injury.
Shoulders are over the bar. Good pull. He catches it right here. Right here in his bottom position, we see his right knee turn in. And he sits down. Evidently, he's got a muscle pull.
Yeah, it didn't look like he really twisted it all.
Well, he sure looks injured here, and if he doesn't come back and take it on his third attempt to make it, he'll definitely be out of the competition.
Bruce, if that's the case, what a break for Nerlinger here. This would mean that he and Krastev will be battling it out for the clean and jerk title. For his third and final attempt in the clean and jerk, Manfred Nerlinger from West Germany. He'll be attempting 540 pounds, and if he makes this, he will have lifted the same weight as Krastev, but because he weighs less, then he would take the lead in the clean and jerk. Third attempt, Krastev has one more. And back in that little cubicle, Taranenko of the Soviet Union. Bruce, we don't know if he's going to be able to continue. Okay, Nerlinger.
Should have no trouble with his weight. He's an explosive lifter, a good technician, hits his positions excellently.
Well, he keeps getting better and better. He's only 26.
Got the weight racked. Struggles for the sticking point.
Nerlinger can take the lead if he can get it overhead. He's got it overhead. All he's got to do now is sail it down a bit.
The down signal.
Manfred Nerlinger from West Germany has taken the lead.
He's excited.
And he's animated about it. Oh, hey, look at Nerlinger.
Every year his performance has improved.
And he weighed in at 309 pounds today. Oh, he is pretty happy, isn't he?
He certainly is, and he's got a lot of reason to be.
Most people feel that this sport belongs to the Bulgarians and the Soviet Union, but Nerlinger from West Germany.
He did a tremendous job in the clean. Let's take a look at the jerk portion. This is where he could have lost it. He didn't. He had a wide, deep split. His legs were split a little bit too wide, but he fought it. Well fought, held it for control. Waits for the down signal. No problem with the weight. A great competitor.
Okay. One more look. Flip here.
Little hole in the carpet after that.
Okay, and now coming out. Antonio Krastev. This will be his third lift, and they've signaled to him to stop, Bruce.
That's right. They're having to wait for Taranenko. Taranenko still has the option to put his name in for the same weight. Of course, this just looks like it's a delaying tactic on the Russians' part. Let's see what's happening back here.
Krastev didn't feel that Taranenko was going to lift again. Looks like Taranenko is in a lot of pain.
I can't imagine him coming out, but the Russians are known to do some funny things.
It doesn't look like he's going to. Oh, there's the signal from one of the trainers. It doesn't look like he's going to lift. And it'll be Krastev coming out now. He'll be attempting 556.5 pounds. And you know, Bruce, back in 1970 in Columbus, Ohio, we saw Vasily Alexiev of the Soviet Union become the first man to lift over 500 pounds. And now here we are, 556.5 pounds. Unbelievable, the progress. And Bruce, with Taranenko out of the competition, the situation has really changed here. This man, Nerlinger, has a chance to win the clean and jerk and move up into second in the total. Krastev, lifting 556.5 pounds, can win the clean and jerk. He's already clinched the total if he can make this lift.
And if he does make this 556.5, Bob, it'll give him 1,030 total, the highest total ever lifted by man. A nice clean.
Oh, Bruce, slipped right off his hand.
That's one of his major problems. His arms are so big, it's very difficult. He racks the weight on his fingertips, but he gave it a good shot.
Well, he doesn't seem too unhappy. He's our overall winner. He totaled more than anybody else, but for Manfred Nerlinger right here, he keeps getting better and better, and he's won the clean and jerk, and he deserved it. He really did lift well. And 2 world records for Krastev, also winner of the total, as we've already mentioned. And the final results in the clean and jerk, Nerlinger and Krastev both lifted the same weight, but because Nerlinger weighs less, he is our winner. And in the total, the overall winner, the best snatch lift combined with the best clean and jerk, Krastev is the winner, and Nerlinger is second. And so, for Bruce Wilhelm, this is Bob Beatty from the World Weightlifting Championships from Sofia, Bulgaria. Good